What up? Welcome to What Up?
What up?
Podcast that we do with Daniel, but Daniel can't because his phone got left at McDonald's, so he's not here no more for the time being. Today we are joined with Kevin, the
Ayo.
King Sus,
Hella sus.
King born to be sus.
The Warfighter, the god of sus.
The god of sus. The reason why he's not stuffy, he's got to be safe. You got to respect protocol, and plus, King Sus always got to be safe.
Yeah, gotta be sus, bruh. So today I actually wanted to talk to you about ads because it was ridiculous today, having nothing to do, quarantine and all that. And so I was watching YouTube, and there's a great channel that I like to watch. It's called the Infographic. They basically make like animated videos. And
like animation?
They do like animated videos about a whole bunch of stuff, and some of my favorite videos of theirs are like about World War II legends and heroes and all this stuff, basically telling them their life stories and stuff. So it's pretty cool, but I hate YouTube so much because they have such a bad habit where you're just watching the video and bam, an ad will pop up, and it's gotten ridiculous, bro. Like, it's like one or two videos on Facebook or YouTube, and you'll get an ad. And it's just like, for the most part, some of them are unskippable, so it's just, ugh.
Yeah, then I give you the 5.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I also want to talk about this too. That's why we're doing this, because I mean, it's a little peek behind the curtain on the ISO, kind of peek behind the curtain. As far as like YouTube sent out a message, emails to anybody who puts videos out their platform. Us on YouTube, so we are not partnered by them because we're a very, very small channel. I think you believe, what is it? You have to have like 1,000 subscribers, right? That's what it is to be partnered with them?
It's like 1,000 subscribers and so many views.
The reason I was bringing that up because they put out this. The email stated that they're gonna start putting ads on videos, even though you're not partnered. So if you ever watch any of our YouTube videos and see an ad, full disclosure, we are not partnered. We are not making money off of any of those videos. YouTube's making money off our videos, and which is kind of like, if you, I mean, obviously you've noticed, like, if you follow us, you know that our YouTube video content stuff has slowed down immensely. It's because of that. I feel some type of way of like a company making money off our stuff,
off of stuff that you're not making money off of. Yeah,
because we're so small, and that's why I kind of focus more on the Facebook side. But as you were saying, even on the Facebook side, like our page, I showed you a screenshot of it. Like they just, and my camera went out.
It's like, nah, not today.
And not today. So that's what I was saying. For the Facebook account. The reason why you brought the Facebook thing, like the reason I brought the Facebook thing, because Facebook now is. I guess they've taken notice that our manga streams have been like catching them. Like it's been like, I guess because it's so popular.
You're getting a bit more view base.
Yeah, getting more view base. And shout out to the first time like the manga stream really like I think it was the second. No, I believe it was the second one that really like boom popped off. There was 3 companies, no association with us, trying to claim our stream. So
who?
It was 2 like Mexican like news websites. Like imagine like the Valley has Channel 4. Imagine Channel 4 having no association with us. They were trying to claim our video. What that means is you would see our video stream, and then right below our video would be a hyperlink to their channel. And so,
oh, that's weird.
It was 30 minutes of me going back and forth with these strangers. Hey, get your claim off a video. Like, oh well, the music you're playing, it's our channel. Like, no, it's not. And I told them we're using this music that's totally copyright free. I pay for this license, like basically F off. And it took 3 days for them to finally release the video. But the thing is, the whole point is going back to saying they're just trying to monetize and put their ads on it. It's like, dude, I just want to make stuff and not put ads on it. And Facebook, they want. What I was trying to get to, Facebook wants basically Among Us streams. They're pushing for us. Ask people to pay to be a part of our live stream. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous. Like I was the main thing that this actually caught my attention was because earlier today I was watching one of my favorite YouTube videos or YouTube channels, which is shout out to them, Trash Taste, which is an anime based podcast type thing, and they had brought it up that YouTube has a habit of putting copyright claims, or I'm sorry, other companies have a habit of putting copyright claims on like the videos or the music. Like they're getting real picky about like the music you have in the videos that you post. So for the the Rad Brad, which is another one, he's a video game YouTuber, and I love his stuff. But he has a habit of mentioning like he can't play any of the music that's in the game because of those copyright claims and stuff like that. So it's gotten pretty ridiculous where anyone and everyone is trying to make money off of YouTubers. Mm-hmm. And it's getting out of the control.
I mean, even little behind the peek behind the scenes as far as being a creator, like a partner creator on Facebook. I mean, you see it, and it's kind of disheartening to me because just see like little people behind the curtains, like people are just like trying to connect, but just network. Yeah, it's called networking instead of like building friendships, being organic. We're just trying to reach out and try and basically or you're trying to make money the fastest. Oh, hey, I do this, and you get this amount of stars, which is like their currency, like their bits and stuff. Like that's how they make money, like their donations.
Yeah.
And Facebook messaged us, the page, and was like, hey, you guys are eligible, your partner, turn on your stars so people can start donating money. I'm like, no, that's not why I did all this. I'm not doing this to make money. That's just fun,
it's just a hobby. It's something you want to do so that people can enjoy what you do.
Yeah, be a distraction to the world and just be little. You get it.
Yeah, definitely. Like that's the whole reason why I got into creative writing, because I mean the way the world is now, it's, excuse my language, but it's gone to pretty much shit. But I wanted to be able to create stories that people can read and enjoy, and mostly, the big major companies, they just want to make money off of it. When we're just doing it because one, we enjoy it, and two, we want other people to enjoy our work as well.
It knows it too. I mean, like clickbait, right? Clickbait was the first iteration of this. Headline chasing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, clickbait is like, I mean, clickbait is one of the best ways to get people to watch your stuff or to read your stuff or whatever. But I mean, it's a bad thing to do. Come on, guys, don't do clickbait. It's a no-no.
Top 5 reasons for this, or you'll never believe what you did.
Like
those classic thumbnails, like, oh my god.
Yeah, like the thumbnail where it's like someone standing on the summit of a friggin' mountain when the whole video's got nothing to do with mountains.
Exactly. Speaking of nothing to do with mountains, have you seen Selena, that stupid Netflix thing, shout out? And they're just picturing
no, I haven't.
My God,
bro. I haven't, but I've heard about it. Like I was scrolling through Facebook earlier today, and I saw that picture you posted of like the mountains, and you're just like, hey, didn't realize this was.
I mean, just to further point, I mean, 2020 reality is just a suggestion. I mean, Brownsville, hey, it's hills, beautiful mountains, beautiful creeks.
Oh God, I wish, bro. I would have never left the 956 if that were the case.
I know, it's like, Jesus Christ, I didn't know Brownsville looked like that. Hey, let's go ahead. Next time we're going down there.
It's weird how people will falsely advertise certain scenes, but I mean, I can understand from a creative aspect that they would want a nice scenery for a certain location. Like that Brownsville thing. I mean, let's face it, that is a pretty appealing picture, but in reality, it looks nothing like that.
Yeah, but it comes back to the whole point we're talking about, right? Isn't that what we're talking about? It's like Netflix.
False advertising.
False advertising. I cannot wait.
Major false advertising.
I cannot wait till the people that watch Netflix and never heard of the 956, they hear Brownsville, like, oh my God, let's go down to Brownsville. Yeah, that's where Selena's from. Let's go down. And they go down to downtown Brownsville. Like, where the mountains, Stacy? I don't know. Where's the mountains?
Bro, it's gonna be a terrible tourist trap. That's all I can say for sure. It's gonna be a tourist trap. Like, they're gonna get there, spend hundreds of dollars just to fly down to Brownsville to see the mountains. Sorry to disappoint, it's not gonna happen. Like, I mean, bro, okay, here's the thing. Okay, perfect example. So, CSI Miami. Okay, so it looks freaking gorgeous. I've been to Florida. Yes, I've only been to Orlando, but when I got I went there for school, and when I got there to Orlando, hella flex. When I got there to Orlando, I was expecting to see like tall buildings, beautiful lush greenery, babes at the beach, but all I saw were Chick-fil-A's and, you know, I can't remember the restaurants. They were like 7-Elevens, but red. And it was a letdown. I mean, because I expected to see beautiful girls in bikinis 24/7. But at the same time, yeah, that would be awesome. But I was still impressed because, I mean, I have to admit, dude, those were some of the most beautiful sunsets I'd ever seen. So if you want to go to see a beautiful sunset, go to Orlando. Gorgeous.
Orlando, Florida. I think I've been to Pensacola.
Oh, Pensacola Beach? Dude, I was so salty. I was like an hour away from Pensacola Beach.
We went to the beach on the military side, on the military base, because my brother. And bro, the sand, I've never been in sand so clean. It felt like real sand, because, you know, we used to South Padre Island, shout out to the dirty sand.
Yeah.
Garbage everywhere.
So the sand over there never stuck to you, or what?
Nah, it was like pure. It felt unreal. It felt like it was just weird.
Well, it felt like that sand you find in like the hourglasses and stuff.
Yeah, like unfiltered, just pure.
Oh my gosh, I'm sort of jelly now. Now you flexing.
Believe it or not, we did put it in the bottle and it's still here. I could get it, but
hey, memento, what up? Hey. But back to the main topic. It's just like okay. So, for example, before, you know, I messaged you about, you know, I'm upset about ads. I'm gonna be real with you. I was trying to watch anime, and bro, the official freaking app to watch anime, because I doubt you know, but recently they've been cracking down on like pirated anime websites like Kiss Anime, 9 Anime, and all that other fun stuff. So those had to get shut down.
Well, no free ads though, but you know, the roll.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Crunchyroll.
Yeah, isn't that just $5 a month?
I'm not sure. I've never really actually paid to watch my anime.
I was just saying,
because who wants to pay to watch a good show? I mean, I would pay, but I don't want to.
It's ad free. That's the thing. That's the thing that sucks. Is like, to watch what you want to watch. What you're trying to get at is you have to pay.
Yeah.
You have to pay.
Yeah, exactly. Like especially Crunchyroll. You have to pay to watch the shows you want. YouTube is just as bad. It's like $10 a month to get premium, and you can watch, you know, exclusive shows. How much?
I pay $15 a month for YouTube Premium, and just I don't want to watch ads.
Oof.
I don't even watch the stupid shows that they like. Oh, watch our exclusive show. Like,
yeah, exactly. And it's like you pay $15 a month just so that you don't have to deal with ads.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I mean, I can understand YouTube, putting in an ad here and there, but on every show you watch or every episode or video you watch, it gets kind of ridiculous.
Like,
and
that's a good example. Hulu, for example, you can pay for membership. There's two. There's ad ones, which is like $6, or you can pay the premium Hulu subscription, get no ads. But it's
I wouldn't pay for Hulu at all because a friend of mine actually has Hulu, and I can't remember which one he has. I think it's like the premium subscription. But one day I was scrolling through like the movies and shows he had, and they were all old, like fucking 1990s to early 2000 shows. And I'm just like, oh,
at least
I want to watch something.
All these different companies are competing, or like now like taking this show, putting it back over here, taking this show. Like for example, Netflix, The Office was always on Netflix. Now that's getting off, going to this streaming network, and it's just all these companies are like,
yeah, they're fighting for shows. That's what it is. Like nowadays, people are so engrossed in like watching and consuming media that it's become its own platform, and people want in on it, bro. They just want to make money off of it.
That's the bigger point. I mean, to the point everyone's trying to make money off of everything. It's just like, it's to a point like, can we just go back to just making stuff, and if it's good, people like it, then okay.
Exactly. And that's kind of what I would like to see. More people creating things, creating videos, and all this other stuff just for the fun of it instead of making movies. Like, I can't remember the name of the YouTube channel, but I do remember the name of the video. It's called SPC Overlord. And it was the very first thing that I had seen in regards to SCP, so I have little to no knowledge about it.
What is that, anime,
but no. It's an actual movie, like a short film. And it was so well done by these people. Like they're all, to my knowledge, because I actually did a bit of research. I watched one of their live streams when they were talking about it and all that other stuff. But when they started out, they had little to no idea what the hell they were doing in regards to filming, in regards to acting, in regards to editing and all that other fun stuff. Yeah. But over time, they got so good that when they made SCP Overlord, it looked amazing. Like, I can't remember how much they spent on the project, but it was so well coordinated, so well made, filmed and edited, that it looked like a Hollywood-style movie with such a low budget, and it just blew up, bro. It's a really good show, episode or show, whatever you want to call it. But I recommend, if you get a chance, watch it, and you'll know what I mean.
Yeah. So, do you think that's what's missing nowadays? Like, do you think, like, even on YouTube, on Facebook, streaming, however, people just want to sit down and stream and pay, like, for example, like, sure, I can pay bots, right? Bots to subscribe to our channel, bots to subscribe to our Facebook, and immediately the numbers go skyrocket high.
Yeah.
And get ads, make money off it, but it's a lie. You know what I'm saying? Versus like, versus what they were doing, which is, I believe, which is why you should start it. To start something you have no idea about, figure out. It's like building something. It's like Legos, no? Like building something. No,
yeah,
that's a better.
Yeah,
making a car.
I feel like learning the craft and learning how to film, learning how to write a script, learning how to act it out,
Yeah.
And I feel like all this stuff that goes into making a quality project is what we need.
Yeah.
Because nowadays it's all just memes and half-assed videos or, you know, high-paying projects that small-time people, the people that want to learn, that want to take the time out of their lives to make videos, like the SCP one, they don't get enough recognition. Like, granted, with SCP Overlord, they blew up. Like, everyone loved all of their shit. I highly doubt it started at SCP Overlord, but that one just skyrocketed them. But I want to see more of that stuff because they took the time to learn and figure it out. And
it's a process. I think it's enjoy the process. I think more like I'm trying to get it is people just want the end result. It's kind of like fitness, I guess. It's an easy one. People would want.
That's the best way to explain it.
Like right now, I used to be a trainer at CrossFit for like good 4 years, and people would immediately be out of shape. Like I'm currently out of shape, so I'm not like room to talk. But your boy's thick, but it's alright. It's a thick boy winner. But people would always come to me and like, "Dummy thick." Shout out to Thick Matt. Rest in peace, Milky Matt. Just kidding. It's that joke there.
Milky Matt, bro.
But yeah, dude, people like will come. For example, you say people who never, ever did fitness before, got themselves to overweight, immediately like come to you as a trainer, like, okay, hey, I want to lose 25 pounds in 2 weeks. Can you get me there? And I'm like, no, that's
not how it works. Exactly.
That's not how it works.
And I feel like there needs to be more passion in the YouTube communities because yes, there are a lot of YouTubers who actually love what they do and they do it well, really well. Yeah. But then there are just some who, I guess, half-ass it. And it's just like, man, like why if you're gonna make a video, why are you going to half-ass it? Yeah. Like the whole point is to have a plan, stick with it, and if it's not going well, tough it out. Because obviously it's the entertainment industry. That's what it is. It's a bit of the entertainment industry. It's not that massive. It's a small part of the entertainment industry. And obviously there's going to be things that go wrong. Obviously there's going to be points where it's really difficult for you to push forward and keep going. But at the end of the day, you have to. And once you finish, once you get that final product, it's worth it. Because, you know, sometimes you're not going to be satisfied with it. But, I mean, hey, if you don't have a deadline, then nothing's going to get done.
Trying to be consistent. You got to be consistent.
Exactly.
Going back to fitness, you got to be consistent. There's going to be some days not going to be good. You're going to feel like shit, but you just got to keep doing it. It's like you're saying, like,
exactly.
You don't want to half-ass that. There are a lot of people behind the scenes. This is why, like, this is no podcast doesn't be coming out. Sure, I could drag both of them in. Then let's do a podcast, but if it's like they're tired, they're like stressed out, it's basically we're all half-assed. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to put like that out there where they wait until they're going to go. You know what I'm saying? Rather than just like, and I think most people like they're not. Everybody's not dumb. It's somebody could see right away. Okay, he clearly doesn't want to be here. She clearly doesn't want to be here. It's like, no.
It's about whether you really want it or not. Yeah. Like it's like my writing. I have deadlines to meet for writing a certain amount of words for a certain story that needs to be posted for my school by 3 to 5 days. And so throughout those 3 to 5 days, I have to come up with a story. I have to type it out. I have to edit it. I have to make sure it's good to go. And then I have to send it out. And even then, after that, the next assignment, is to go back into that story. This actually just recently happened. I basically had to go ahead and pick out 2 lines out of a 750 word story, which is a flash fiction story. I had to pick 2 lines out of that entire story and get rid of everything else.
Like the character flash?
And yeah, like the character flash, like a flash fiction story. It's basically a really, really short story. And with those 2 lines that I have left, I basically had to create an entirely new story with just those 2 lines. Yeah, so it's all about commitment, because it takes time to just even begin the story. It takes a lot of energy to finish the story, but it takes a lot of, I feel like it takes a lot of courage to completely destroy your story and then start from the ground up again. Because the first version of my story was sort of like a bittersweet type story. And then the second version was more oriented toward dark. It was dark. It was about revenge and whether or not it was worth it, you know? So through the first and second revision, it can completely change, which is why it takes a lot of, courage to do it. Because it takes guts, bro, to just completely scrap your entire story and rewrite it from the ground up. And it takes commitment, because it takes time for you to come up with, okay, what would be a good catch for the reader to start off on,
Kind of like breaking down. See, the first revision, see it from a perspective. You think about it. Okay, let's break this down. Blah, 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 blah. Second revision, look at it. Perspective. Basically, just finding different perspectives, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Because if you just had one perspective and for a story, it wouldn't be interesting. It's like me and you. If I were to say your YouTube channel needs to do this, and you disagreed, and I said, no, you have to do this. You don't have a choice. And that's basically what it is, But if I go into a separate, change the light of how I view it and how I want it to be done, that's when, you'll have more of an open mind to be able to write.
And then also just like it takes a lot of courage. Like, you mean as far as like checking your ego, it's like yeah, this is good, but don't you gotta like check yourself? Have the courage to check yourself. Like, actually, we better read just like this. You know what I'm saying? Because we're talking about,
Yeah, exactly. Because you have to be open for criticism, especially in the entertainment industry. Because if, obviously not everyone's going to like your work. Not everyone's going to like your stories or your videos or your movies or whatever you decide to make. And you have to analyze. I know that's redundant. I'm just saying it again. But you have to analyze what they're saying and see why they're saying it. Like, oh, you know what? The camera angle for this scene could have been different. At one point, you have to take a step back and just be like, hey, you know what? Maybe they're right. Maybe if I change it just a little bit, it'll change the whole perspective of that story. It'll click just a little bit better. And even just a little bit is a far greater improvement than anything else.
To put it in meathead terms, it's kind of like football. You play football, okay?
Yeah.
After Friday night game, okay? Monday night, what we doing? Watching film, coach. You gotta watch the film. You gotta see your mistakes. What we're talking about, meathead terms.
Exactly. Exactly.
You gotta be on coach. See, okay, should have done this. This should have been here, a little lower. I should have looked more to the left, chat more. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Exactly. Like, you just have to be more open-minded and not instantly shut down anyone who tries to give their opinion about it. Because if you do, you're never going to get better. Yeah, it's like weightlifting. Like, say, you've been doing curl-ups or, obviously I don't go to the gym. Say you've been doing curls for, X amount of years, and someone comes up. Yeah, I haven't worked out in years, but anyways, so say you've been doing curls for years upon years, and someone comes up to you and tells you, hey, you know what, I've got a new way of doing curls that can help you get better results. And they show you obviously it's up to you whether you want to take their advice or not. But if you don't, there's a chance that you may not improve. Whereas if you take their advice, you may see a slight improvement. But even a slight improvement is a great improvement.
You got to be open. You got to be open to take that advice, even though it's that small of a difference. It's that thing like you can't just blow it off. You got to be like, okay, I'll give it a try. You got to give it a try. Right?
Exactly. And that's why, I was surprised to see that one of my latest assignments was writing a script for one of the short stories that I wrote. So I'm probably going to end up having to stay up late tonight to do it, or just put it off tomorrow. I can always do that. But
so real quick, how does that work? So how do you break down, like you said, you got your story. How would you break that into a script? Is you gonna make up certain dialogues to fit it, the script, or is it just how does that work?
So basically, recently we've been dealing with dialogue-heavy stories. So basically, we've been focusing on stories that mainly focus on conversation. And so transitioning it from a story to a script, it's not too difficult because of, it's already written out. All you have to do is, change the layout. So instead of it being like Tom walked into a store and said hi to Gina, it'll be the script will say something along the lines of Thomas, 30 years old, enters X store or coffee shop, interior, daytime. And then it'll say, hey, Gina, how's it going? Gina, age 32, and it'll just continue the conversation. So it's not much of a major change. It's a little confusing sometimes. I'm still learning how to write scripts. I think I've only ever written one script before.
You have a note, hey, Tom walked in, said, hey. You have to write a script note, happy when it says, or is it happy when it says?
No, actually,
that's more direct.
That's more directing. And from what I've learned in my classes, directors don't like that. Directors don't like it when a script writer writes how they want the actors to express certain emotions. Basically, what they'll do is the director will read the script and he'll use his best judgment to determine what moods or what actions those particular actors will take before they make the shot. So
essentially, you're building the road, and
I'm building the road, and the directors are telling the drivers how to drive it.
Big brain analogy. Here we go.
Yeah, exactly. And it gets a bit more convoluted and complicated the more you go down that rabbit hole, but I mean, it's fun. I enjoy it. Like,
The joy of the process. That's
yeah, it's a major process, definitely. But writing the stories, I enjoy every step of it because the stories don't happen all in one time, all in here. You know, you see certain things, you experience certain things, you do certain things, and you just go, hey, you know what? That could be in a story. Or, hey, you know what? It's all about inspiration. It just comes and goes.
I was gonna ask you, like, is that where you grab your inspiration for your stories? Is stuff you've been through, or is it stuff that you see? Just look around, be like very observant throughout your day, just grabbing. I could use that, and that could be a story there, or just
yeah, like especially when I'm at work. I know that's a terrible thing to say, but yeah, I daydream all the time at work, and I know I shouldn't, but like I'll be thinking like, what would be a great way to grab a reader's attention or grab a viewer's attention? Because obviously I'm studying for the big screen, but you know, I constantly think about certain stories that would pique certain people's interest. Like, I don't like to focus on just one subject, like sci-fi or fantasy or romance, drama, and stuff like that. I like to think about everything. So, the story that I had just finished writing, actually, the first version of it was a bittersweet story about two soldiers who came back from a war, and their two best friends that they grew up with were killed in action. And so, to honor them, because before they had passed away, they had promised each other that they would go to this clearing in a forest and have lunch there. So, to none of that was written; it was all implied. The two main characters of the story make it to the clearing. It's a bright sunny day. There's fresh snow on the ground. Uh, they're talking about their best friends who were killed in action, and you know, they clear a stone that was in the clearing off from snow, and they put the dog tags there, and you know, they have a bittersweet moment at the end where the wind blows snow into their hair, and one of the characters is like, you think that's them telling us that they're okay? And you know, it's just a whole wholesome bittersweet moment, of course.
I could totally see that. I was like trying to think, going back and forth, and that's a pretty good way to set the scene. I mean, like, through creative process, you just get good at just being very descriptive. I mean, like, honestly, that's like
description is a big part of it, mainly because it builds the world where your main characters are going to be living in. But the dialogue is also a very big part of it, because you can build the world through dialogue. You can build a history of those characters and what they've been through just by dialogue. For example, you can imply that they were in a war when one of the characters pulls out a dog tag from their neck. Or you can imply that they have someone they loved who was lost in said war by saying, do you think they'll miss us? Or do you think they're okay or happy? You know, it's all about how you word things in terms of description and dialogue that builds a world subliminally.
And it's just like you gotta learn just to like, which description, or is it more just setting up the reader to like kind of imply what happened?
with me personally, I like to throw in a bunch of implications in my stories. I don't like to tell the readers what they're reading. I like to show them.
Not a metaphysical type of stuff, you know?
Yeah, like
instead of saying my chains are free, you see like in the background broken chain. Not even something.
Yeah, exactly. Like our school heavily focuses on show, don't tell. So, for example, for those, that chain example, instead of writing the chains snap and Trey walked away from the broken wall, I could write the snap of the chain caused a flash of light while the sound of a crumbling wall. It's just the subtle changes in wording that make the world visually more appealing to the reader or to the viewer. And it's complicated because I'm pretty sure you saw a few gears turning for a moment. But
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but it makes a big difference if you have the practice, if you take the time to practice writing. Like I personally have been writing a book, 2 books actually. One of them is fantasy based, the other is sci-fi based. Don't expect anything because I have had to rewrite both of them so many times. It's not even funny. And it's like every time I go back to them, I see something wrong or I see an opportunity to improve a certain scene.
Yeah.
Like for example, my sci-fi story, it's actually based off of a visual novel that one of my friends made, and it's a really good one. But the main character, his name's Dalton Withers. He's basically a genetically enhanced super soldier, one of 5, who was created to act as a private military contractor or a mercenary. And it's implied that he and the other 4 were the reason why the balance in the war had been shifted. And it's also implied that they're betrayed. But I don't tell anyone or anything, who betrayed them, how it happened, because it's a big reveal when it happens, So when you're writing a story, it's about, building things up, leaving little subliminal messages so that when it actually does happen, the reader can go back and just be like, oh, wait, this was hinted. Like, oh, dang, this was there. There's a hint here. There's a hint here. It's going to happen. It's just building up. And then when it finally happens, they're like, oh my God, why did I not notice? And I shared a bit of the story with my little brother. Shout out to him. And he called me after reading the whole, I think it was 30,000 words. And I was barely even a quarter of the way done with the story, but he's like,
earlier, like it comes out of that passion, like it's like you have to be passionate about it. The process,
oh yeah, definitely, dude. It's definitely about that passion, because if it wasn't for an incentive, I'm not gonna say what it is. I'm a degenerate. Leave me alone. But
the king sus.
But if it wasn't for my friend who made the visual novel, which, by the way, the visual novel's name is Stellarin. I'm plugging that in. I'm sorry.
How would you spell that? And where will people find that?
It's on the Google Play Store. It's spelled STELLREN, and it's made by the creator Nine Ducks. He's a really good friend of mine. He's pretty awesome. And bro, his story is I got a hair. Sorry. Anyways, his story is actually what inspired me to write this story.
What's the name of the book?
And the name of my book?
No, the name of your friend's book. What's it called again?
Oh, the visual novel. It's called Stellaren.
Stellaren. Check it out.
Yeah, it's like an anime-esque style visual novel, and it does have some playable elements, like a kind of like a side-scrolling type space battle thing. But it's a really good story. It's got a bunch of interesting choice type gameplay. Like it changes the story as you make your choices.
Yeah.
But his story is actually the one that inspired mine, and it's based off of mine. Obviously, I asked for permission to use his story as like a base, and he gave it to me, which is the reason why I wrote it. Wrote what I have now. But it's a really it was 30,000. 30,000. But it's a really interesting story that I love because it's about I can't really explain it. It's about, the loss that you feel. It's about
grief.
It's about grief. It's about revenge. It's about, it makes you question whether is it really worth getting revenge? Is revenge really an answer that someone can turn toward? Because we all know revenge, it never leads to anything good, but is that really a viable option? And that's kind of the question that I want this story to answer for me, myself, because, obviously revenge is a dish best served cold, but this story, it's about love, it's about loss, it's about grief, revenge, it's about trying to remember who you are, because throughout the whole story, the main character is trying to regain the memories that he lost.
Yeah.
So there's that. Huh?
We can expect this book out. We're intrigued now. Very intrigued.
Not for a good while. I'm still working on it on top of my schoolwork. It's been a pain in the ass because I've had to make...
Christmas?
Huh?
Christmas 2021?
I mean, what I can do is I can definitely to you, or I can actually go to your Discord and I can post what I have now on your Discord for anyone who decides to join the Discord for their reading pleasure. For now. Obviously, I'm going to be tweaking and changing a few things here and there through as we go. But I'll definitely keep you in the loop. And then the second story, the fantasy story, is more of a personal pet project that a friend of mine, you're not going to believe how I got inspired to write it. But it was because I was doing dishes in the back of a Jason's Deli. So this fantasy style story focuses on the moral compass. Like the main character of this story, he gets obviously, we're gonna do the whole transfer to another world trope, but he gets transferred to another world, and in this world, he comes across a demon sword, which we all know is never a good thing. But the whole premise of the story is to get you to question what is right and what is wrong, because the antagonist of the story has the holy sword, which is, you know, the counterpart to the demon sword. And throughout the story, the more the main character, Jack, I believe his name is. It's been a while since I've worked on that one, so that one's gonna. I'm gonna have to go back and reread. Yeah. But we're just gonna call him Jack for now because I'm still working out the names anyway. So Jack, the more Jack uses the sword and the power of the demon sword, his moral compass gets more and more corrupt. So he becomes more and more of a bad guy. And I wanted to. It's basically my moral experiment to see if you have a good guy who is put into a predicament of doing bad things for good reasons, would it be morally correct or would it be morally wrong? Yeah, you know,
that's the great kind of middle ground.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. And I wanted to write this story to implement, you know, that gray zone. Like, there's obviously a gray zone between the good and evil, but what does it look like? I don't think I've seen any media that has explored that concept yet. You know what I mean? So I wanted to go ahead and, you know, write something that would actually explore that. Yeah, pretty heavy stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like actually just let the mind rolls. Like so you got it. So that entire inspiration just was from Jason. While you're washing dishes.
Yeah, I was washing dishes and I was like, you know, you have stories of heroes and villains, and you have stories of mercenaries. You have stories of, you know, Cassandra Clare's, what is it? It's the Mortal Instruments series, one of my favorite series, where you've got your good guys, you've got your bad guys. You know, obviously there's twists and turns, but you've never really had a story where all the main character cares about is saving one particular person that has absolutely nothing to do with anyone else's problems, you know? So I wanted to explore that to see what it would be like.
You, as speaking from a writing perspective, do you come up with these it's kind of like you come up with different perspectives to just challenge yourself, like going forward a story in the gray zone, never seen it, or well, what about going this way or more this way? Do you challenge yourself in that way?
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge, and I enjoy it because it's like I run through basically what I do in my head, and it's gonna sound super difficult because it is. Basically, I play through 20 million scenarios all in my head, all within the same time. Like, okay, so the main character does this. Huh?
Sorry, I was going to say, are you listening to music at that time? Do you have a lo-fi or are you just there silent?
Oh, I have to be listening to music. I listen to lo-fi sometimes, or I'll listen to a chill mix, or I'll listen to a super hyped up electric music. I'll listen to surprisingly, don't judge me, Japanese music. They've got some pretty dope beats. I'll listen to Eminem.
Heard of baby metal?
Huh?
Ever heard of baby metal?
No, I haven't. Bro, send me the link. But
no, pen and
but
paper. Pen and paper was, or do you keyboard writing it down? Or is it just like memory, like Doctor Strange? They're
like for the most part, when I'm away from my laptop, I'll write something down on my hands as like sort of a
just like
note. Yeah, pretty much. Like if I'm not, like if I don't have access to my laptop, I'll usually have like a pen on me. So I'll just write like, for example, if I have an idea about, a castle exploding because of a certain magic spell, or I'll have an idea of an explosion going off in the space station because of a terrorist attack, and the main character has to save everyone or evacuate the people. I'll write a little note on my hand, just a little one. Basically, all it would say is explosion, space station, main character. That's it. And then when I look at it, I'll be like, okay, so there's an explosion on the space station, but why? And why does the main character have anything to do with it? But then I'll be like, oh, that's right. Okay. So it's kind of like a little, like, hey, dummy note.
Yeah.
So if I ever do forget, I have it there to remind me, to basically jumpstart my creative mind. And I'll be like, oh, okay. I'll build the scenario in my head as I go. And
when it comes to building it, is it, okay, first, I got the premise, explosion, castle, and, what's the other one? Explosion, castle?
Usually it's like explosion, space station, and main character, because...
Explosion, space station, character. First, I'm going to build the scene, or first, it's kind of like cooking. Like, do you cook the meat first, you put the pasta in first? When it comes to your writing, what do you build first, the character, scene, or the premise?
So for me, the most important part of writing is the characters. Obviously, you want to have original characters. You don't want to have tropey, completely clueless main characters not knowing what's going on. But for my main character's case, and the stellar and alternate universe, I guess is the best way to put it. It works because he's lost his memories. So he's stoic, he's a tough guy, he's got all this training, he doesn't know where it came from. But as we go throughout the story, you meet certain characters that know him, and then as the main character talks to them, you get a better grasp of who the main character was before he lost his memory, and you get to understand how these particular characters got to meet the main character, or you get to understand why these particular characters are the way they are. And once you have a baseline for who these characters are and why they do the things they do, I move on to building the scene. So for the... No, you're fine.
I was going to say, okay, so do you use like these like side characters in a way like as a stepping stone to help you build the scene? Kind of like
yes,
and the world essentially?
Because I feel like the characters are the most important, because without them, the scene itself would be empty. The scene would be pretty, obviously. You got yourself a super futuristic, fancy space station, but who's on it? So the people are the most important because we want to know who these people are, why they do what they do, and what they're going to do in this scene is also important. So we have to explore what they do, why they do it, and how they do it. Because I can just say, this character saunters over to this panel, pushes a button, and opens the door. Or I could say, obviously, these aren't going to be the names of the characters, but we could say Melanie saunters over with a careless yet seductive move of her hips toward the door and opens it. You get what I'm saying? It builds the character. You know that she's interested in the character. And we, aside from that, we don't know much, but we know she opens the door. So we know she opens the door. We know how she does it seductively. And you know why she did it, because she's into you. Or it's implied that she's into you. So it's implied. Like I said, I like to do implications. Yeah. But with that being said, we've already built who she is, Melanie. Why she opened the door is still a mystery. Why she sauntered over to the door in a seductive manner is implied that she's into you. And how she opened the door seductively, obviously. How do you open a door seductively? You spin around, grab the handle back behind you, and pop it open. You know, stuff like that. Use your imagination.
My mind is literally blown. I'm just thinking, damn, it's crazy how just one little word and one little twist knobs here, like for like storytelling, can immediately make it like that much, you know?
Yeah, and
that's like, what the fuck? I'm trying to let the right now. Like,
and that's basically what my schooling has been trying to teach me, is to try and build the scene, build the characters, and basically tell the story with as little words as possible. That's like their main go-to thing is show, don't tell. And when you're showing the reader or when you're showing the viewer, you want to do it in as few words as possible. Because when you're publishing a book or when you're trying to post a video or a short film to get recognized, it's got to be within a certain format. It's got to be within a certain amount of time. It's got to be a certain length. Like I had to do research for the school about publishing your works or flash fiction stories. And there are some that require the letters to be in Times New Roman. It needs to be 12-point size. It needs to be double spaced. It needs to have your first and last name on the top left. It needs to have the amount of words in the story on the top right. It needs to have your email address on the bottom left, stuff like that. So how you tell your story is not only important for you to keep organized, but it's also important for publishing purposes.
A lot of taking there, a lot of stuff that can be applied.
Oh, definitely.
You're like, damn, Kevin, thank you for joining. Damn, I just learned a whole lot about writing, about just all because of ads, all because we were angry about fucking ads.
Yeah, forget those ads, damn it.
Forget about those ads. You just got a freaking glimpse of how to write a story, how to get better at writing. I'm gonna click this title. How to get better
how
at
to
writing.
Get good.
How to get
how
good.
to get good at writing.
Kevin reveals all King Sus.
There's a lot more to that, but again, I'm just starting out, so I don't know everything. I'm just going by what I've learned.
Not better than most. Not better than, like I said, my mind is blown right now. I'm just like, holy shit.
Yeah, there's a lot to it, bro. Trust me. And it's taken me, I can't even remember how long I've been in this school. I think it's been like 8-9 months, and I still have another 8 or 9 months to go. But once I graduate, I have my bachelor's degree in creative writing for script writing, for basically movies, TV shows, video games. I can do any of those. And that'll be fun, because I would really love to write a story for a video game in particular. That would be amazing.
If you ever write a story for a video game, I want to be like the little extra character in the back thing.
You're gonna get one line. You're gonna get one line. It'll be like, what up?
What up?
You're gonna be that guy, like you know how in the cutscenes you've got that one guy that passes by you and they don't say shit. It'll be like, what up? Yeah, it'll be like that nod, like, what up?
Well, speaking of what up, thank you for joining. What up, Kevin? Thank you for guest hosting us. Call this. If you can leave, let's say if there's one thing, I know you've fairly educated all of us when it comes to writing. If there's one thing you can leave them with, what would it be? Like a nugget, a little extra nugget.
A little nugget of truth. Just stay passionate and keep doing what you're doing, and love every second of it, because I'm confident it'll pay off.
Damn. Hey, well, what's like ultimate? That's like the ultimate micro. Damn. What is this?
Yeah. Mic drop.
There, subscribe. This is ad free. No ads here. Giving you a free. This is organic, non-dairy, let's say vegan cut. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, vegan. No ads. Screw those ads.
Screw those ads. Say no to ads. Say yes to passion.
Hey man, ooh, that should be on a shirt.
Put that on a t-shirt. Merch coming.
Actually, I know someone who can.
Merch coming soon. I know that.
Hey.
So, what up?